Long ago, when Mount Fuji stood watch over the barren plains of Suruga, there lived a man whose story would echo through 3 centuries. Meet Visu, a woodsman of enormous stature, his axe as mighty as his frame. In a humble hut surrounded by whispering trees, he lived with his wife and children, working each day to fill their rice bowls. One fateful day, an elderly priest arrived at his door, staff in hand, concern etched upon his weathered face. But Visu had forgotten something important, something an old priest was about to remind him of. "Honorable woodsman," the priest said solemnly, "I fear you never pray." Visu, exhausted from his labors, replied without thinking, "Old man, if you had a wife and hungry mouths to feed, you too would have no time for prayers." The priest's eyes flashed with anger. He painted vivid, terrifying pictures of being reborn as a toad in muddy waters, a mouse scurrying in darkness, an insect for millions upon millions of years. Frightened, Visu made a promise. "I will pray, honored priest, I will pray." "Work and pray," the priest instructed as he departed. But Visu heard only half the wisdom. He prayed at sunrise. He prayed at noon. He prayed as the moon rose. His axe gathered dust. His rice fields withered under the sun. His children grew thin, their eyes hollow with hunger. His patient wife, who had never spoken a harsh word, finally broke her silence. Pointing to their starving children, she cried out, "Rise, Visu! Take up your axe! Do something more helpful than the mumbling of prayers!" Visu stood frozen, shocked by her words. Then his pride ignited like dry kindling. "Woman, the gods come first. I will have nothing more to do with you." Seizing his axe, he strode into the morning mist, climbing higher and higher up the sacred slopes of Fujiyama until clouds swallowed him whole. On the mountainside, Visu heard a rustling. A fox, a creature of good fortune, darted into the thicket. Forgetting his prayers entirely, he chased after it through twisted pines and bamboo groves. Then, in a clearing by a singing brook, he discovered something extraordinary. 2 elegant ladies sat playing Go, their silk sleeves shimmering, their black hair cascading like waterfalls. Click, click, click. The game pieces danced across the board. The brook sang. Time seemed to stop. Visu sat down to watch, mesmerized. Hours passed, or so he thought. "Wrong, most lovely lady," Visu suddenly exclaimed, spotting a false move. In an instant, the women transformed into foxes and vanished into the forest. Visu tried to stand, but his limbs wouldn't obey. His hair had grown to his feet, his beard touched the ground, and his axe handle, nothing but dust. 300 years had passed in what felt like a single afternoon. Painfully, Visu made his way down the mountain. Where his hut once stood, there was nothing, only an old woman passing by. "Good lady, my home has vanished," he cried. She stared at him as if he were mad. "Visu? That name is from ancient times. He abandoned his family 300 years ago." "300 years? Where are my wife and children?" "Buried," she hissed. "And their children, too. The gods punished you for neglecting those who needed you most." Tears streamed down Visu's ancient face as understanding finally came. "I have lost everything," he whispered. "I prayed while my loved ones starved. Old woman, remember my final words. If you pray, work too." They say Visu's white spirit still wanders Mount Fuji on moonlit nights, an eternal reminder that wisdom lies not in choosing between the spiritual and the earthly, but in honoring both. Work and pray. Pray and work. This is the way of balance.